Over to you, Arvind.
Start karo, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Arvind.
Hello and good morning. Myself, Arvind Gorachia, and I welcome you all in this wonderful and amazing webinar on bank audit. So, we are 2 days away from new financial year, and we will start our financial year from bank audit. And bank audit play a major role in taking the interest of stakeholders. So, it is a very vital important component, and article assistant play an important role in bank audit. So,
Arvind, just a second. I request everyone except Arvind to please mute.
Yeah.
मूलभूत जी आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हो ना?
Sir, done. Yeah, continue.
Arvind, can we start it all again?
yes, ma'am. Hello and good morning. Myself, Arvind Gorachia, and I welcome you all in this wonderful and amazing webinar on bank audit. So, we are few days away from new financial year, and we will start our financial year with bank audit. To gain insight on bank audit, we have a very esteemed speaker, CA Amit Jain. And as we all are aware that article play important role in bank audit, whether it is a LF part, whether it is a checking of files, article play important role. And with new amendments, we have to keep update ourselves with new amendments, new circulars. So Amit Jain sir here is to gain insight on bank audit. Before starting, handing over the mic to Amit Jain sir and our introduction of guest speaker, C. Anil Kumar Yadav, I would like to invite C. Abhishek Soni for the words of wisdom, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Arvind. And it's a wonderful morning here in the Jodhpur, and we are doing the webinar on the bank audit students. So, first of all, I would like to thank CA Anil Kumar Yadav sir that come in the webinar and motivate us with their words. And he is the CIS chairman. So it's a cool thing for all of us that they are with us in this seminar. So, and also I welcoming our guest speaker, the Amit Jain sir, and they are very wonderful speaker on the bank audit, and I hope that we will get benefit from it and all the students who are at this webinar. So also welcoming all the managing committee members here who have joined the webinar. And really, as we know that students हमारी नींव है, students के बिना institute कुछ भी नहीं है. So student को वो हर चीज, each and everything that जो उनको होनी चाहिए, वो हम सब मिलके एक ऐसा एफर्ट करते हैं ताकि स्टूडेंट्स को वो चीज अपन को देनी है, ताकि क्या है कि मेंबर्स को वो फुल सपोर्ट सके और इंस्टीट्यूट और स्ट्रेंथन हो सके. तो हमको सारी चीज जो है आने वाले टाइम इवेंट्स हैं वो स्टूडेंट्स के साथ साथ जो अपने करिकुलम के अलावा भी अपन स्पोर्ट्स रिलेटेड है या दूसरे को करिकुलम एक्टिविटीज है, स्टूडेंट्स को उनको एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए आगे लाना चाहिए एंड मोटिवेट करना चाहिए. सो फ्रॉम दिस all we have in last few days, we have a all India orientation program that has been initiated by our president sir, and they have the goal that we have to take the institute on the very utmost heights with the active participation of the students and the members. So also the branches have to put effort to connect and bridging the gap between the students and the members, ताकि हम वो एक अचीव कर सके गोल जो हम सबने मिलकर देखा है. तो इसी के साथ मैं थैंक यू कहना चाहूंगा कि जो भी ये वेबिनार अटेंड कर रहे हैं उनको अच्छे से फोकस की स्टूडेंट्स ये सब सुने जो हमारे गेस्ट स्पीकर जो इस चीज के बारे में बताएंगे, क्योंकि आने वाला टाइम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड एज वी ऑल नो देयर इज मेनी मोर चैलेंजेस कमिंग इन द बैंक ऑडिट्स. जैसे अपने गाइडलाइंस के हिसाब से एडवांसेस 70% हो चुके हैं ऑडिट करने के, तो बहुत से आगे चैलेंजेस और जाने हैं. तो अपन को अपना कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस दिखाना होगा और अपन को और एक्सपर्टीज हासिल करनी होगी बैंक ऑडिट्स के अंदर. सो मेरा यही सबसे अनुरोध है कि आप इस वेबिनार को बहुत सीरियसली फोकसली लेते हुए अच्छे से सारे पॉइंट्स को सुने, ताकि अपन जब बैंक ऑडिट करने जाएं तो अपने क्वालिटी ऑफ ऑडिट है वो हमेशा बरकरार रहे. तो इसी के साथ मैं थैंक्स कहना चाहूंगा अगेन, और सभी वेबिनार में जो यहाँ अटेंड कर रहे हैं उन सबको वेलकम। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to invite our newly appointed SICASA chairman, Sir CA Mukesh Vyas. CA Mukesh Vyas, sir, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. And as everybody knows, this is going to be first important event for the students. Being SICASA chairman, I am first of all thank all my colleagues, and I expect a great deal of support from all the students. And now I would come on the subject bank audit. Everybody knows, without the students, without the article 20, ये काम पूरा हो नहीं सकता है, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स कैन नॉट डू, और ये सारे सपोर्टिंग हैंड है, इनको समझना भी पड़ता है, एंड बिकॉज दे आर कैरिंग आउट द एक्टिविटी इन प्रॉपर मैनर, तो इनको प्रोविजंस भी समझने पड़ते हैं, एंड हाउ टू डील विद द स्टाफ ऑफ द बैंक, हाउ टू डील विद द प्रॉब्लम्स व्हिच आर कमिंग इनटू द बैंक ऑडिट एटसेट्रा। तो स्टूडेंट्स के लिए दिस इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एक्टिविटी, एंड द स्पीकर, as everybody knows, the man who has vast knowledge, very experienced fellow, who is enlightening all the students on the subject. And I expect that not only the students but the members too who are in this meeting will get benefit out of the experience of Mr. Speaker. So I am welcoming all the persons. And thank you very much, Anil ji Yadav. Thanks to you for joining this important event and motivating all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to invite our guest of honor, C. Anil Kumar Yadav. And I'm extremely pleased to introduce our today's guest of honor, C. Anil Kumar Yadav, sir. He's an ex-officio of ICI of Jodhpur branch of ICI, and he's the SICASA chairman of SICASA. He's the SICASA chairman of CIRC of ICI,
Yes.
and he has also served CIRC chairman in last year financial year. He became CA in May 2015, and in these 16 years, he has served various posts. He served chairman of Jaipur branch of CIRC of ICI 2021, vice chairman of Jaipur branch of CIRC of ICI 1920, secretary at Lions Club Jaipur 1617, and joint secretary and executive committee member of Tax Consultant Association of Jaipur 1517. Sir, in his early career, has served various central PSUs and state PSUs. He served Rajasthan Electricity Board as an accounts officer and HUDCO Delhi as an assistant financial officer. Sir is also engaged in philanthropic activities. He is helping poor student and needy student who is capable of studying but have lack of financial condition. In the span of 16 years, he has received many awards and prizes. He secured number one change maker position in Hawa Mahal Assembly area, got Best Secretary Award by Lions Club International. Because of his amicable experience and excellence performance in various fields, he has received many awards and prizes. Now, without wasting time, I would like to invite CA Anil Kumar Yadav, sir. Sir, Anil, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Arvind, for such a wonderful introduction. इतना तो मैं शेयर ही नहीं किया था. Thank you so much. Respected Chairman of Jaipur Branch, Abhishek ji, Secretary Raj Bothra ji, SICASA Chairman Mukesh ji, immediate past Chairman Dhaval ji, Pooja ji, Hemant Lohia ji, and our today's speaker Amit Jain ji. A very good morning to all of you. बच्चों, मैं बस ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लूंगा बिकॉज हम सब अमित सर को सुनने के लिए आए हैं. जब मैं आर्टिकल था तो मेरे मन में ये था कि यार मुझे बॉस लेके क्यों जाते हैं आर्टिकल ऑडिट करने के लिए. सर तो ऑडिट तो सर करते हैं, मेरे आर्टिकल भी मुझसे पूछते हैं. अब जब मैं ऑडिट कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे पता लगता है कि जितना इंपॉर्टेंस मेरी है उससे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस मेरी आर्टिकल्स की है. जब आप अमित सर अभी पढ़ाएंगे बेसिक, अच्छा हम ऑडिट करने जाते तो बेसिक हम लोग वाउचिंग करते थे. आज बैंक ऑडिट में अगर बड़ी से बड़ी एंट्री अटकती है या कहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है, केसीसी में प्रॉब्लम आती है, अमाउंट जमा हुआ है नहीं हुआ है या एंट्री हुई है नहीं हुई है, तो हम क्या बोलते हैं उसको, बोलो भैया ये स्टेट का वाउचर लेके आ जाओ. तो जो वाउचिंग को ड्यूरिंग द आर्टिकलशिप जब मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि यार वाउचिंग क्यों करवा रहे हैं, वाउचिंग में तो कुछ है नहीं, और वाउचिंग इज द बेसिक डॉक्यूमेंट फॉर एनी ऑडिट. अगर आप बैंक ऑडिट करने जा रहे हैं, किसी भी ट्रांजेक्शन को आपको करना है, ये ट्रांजेक्शन सही है या नहीं है, आप ये मान के चले आपके सिस्टम में जो भी ऑडिट हो रही है, जो भी एंट्री आपके वहां पे है, हर एक उस एंट्री का वाउचर होगा। अगर कैश जमा हुआ है तो आपका वाउचर होगा, कैश विड्रॉल हुआ है तो वाउचर होगा। तो आप ये मान के चले जो वाउचिंग है, वाउचिंग इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो अगर आप वाउचिंग कर रहे हैं तो वाउचिंग पूरा ध्यान रखें, उसको किस हिसाब से, वाउचर एज ए ऑडिटर जैसे आप देखेंगे वाउचर को, तो आपको वाउचर को देख के पता लग जाएगा उस वाउचर में कहाँ प्रॉब्लम है। समटाइम हम देखते हैं कि उसके ऊपर ओवर राइटिंग हो रही है केसीसी के, और कई अकाउंट्स में हम लोग देखते हैं कि है तो 2000 और उसको 12,000 किया हुआ है एक अलग पेन से। उसको आप मार्क करें, आप आपकी जो भी आपकी टीम लीडर है आप उनको बताएं, उसको नोट करें। सेकंड, अमित सर हमें पूरा बताएंगे, अमित सर से आप पूरा सुने। साथ में जो गाइडेंस नोट इश्यू किया है आईसीआई ने, बिकॉज हम लोग गूगल पे सर्च मार लेते हैं, हम लोग आपस में पूछ लेते हैं, पर जो गाइडेंस नोट आईसीआई ने इश्यू किया उसको हम लोग पढ़ते नहीं है। तो मेरी आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है, गाइडेंस नोट जरूर इश्यू आप पढ़े उसको। और कहीं भी अगर आप अटकते हैं, इवन ड्यूरिंग द ऑडिट, अगर आपको कहीं लगता है कि सर यहाँ पॉइंट क्या है, अगर वो पूरे पॉइंट वहां गाइडेंस नोट में आईसीआई ने पूरे दे रखे हैं, अगर आपको किसी भी पॉइंट पे डिस्कशन करना है तो पहले आप पढ़े, ना कि पहले आप पूछे, पहले गाइडेंस नोट पढ़े, अपने सीनियर से डिस्कस करें। अच्छा, आपकी जो क्यूरियोसिटी है ना उसको जगा के रखे बिल्कुल। आप तो बिल्कुल पूछे बॉस से, जब आपकी ऑडिट खत्म हो जाए रात को 8 बजे 9 बजे होटल में आप बैठे हो, कहीं बैठे हो, तो अपने सर से पूछे, नहीं सर आप ये बताओ ये एनपीए हो रहा है तो क्यों हो रहा है, ये एनपीए नहीं हो रहा तो क्यों नहीं हो रहा, सर ये एंट्री मेरे हिसाब से तो एमओसी इशू होनी थी तो क्यों नहीं हो रही, और इसमें एमओसी क्यों इशू कर रहे हैं, सर ये मैं इशू करूंगा। आप डेफिनेटली जो आपके बॉस होंगे, आपके जो टीम लीडर होंगे, डेफिनेटली उन्हें भी अच्छा लगेगा कि जो हमारी टीम है वो हमें सपोर्ट भी कर रही है। और वो अदरवाइज क्या होता है, आप पूछेंगे नहीं, कुछ होगा नहीं, हिच आपको छोड़नी पड़ेगी बच्चों। इवन मैं यहाँ हूँ, मैं भी थोड़ा बहुत बैंक ऑडिट पे बोलता हूँ, बट आज भी मैं, कल भी एक कोई सेमिनार थी वहां भी अटेंड करी, कुछ भी कंफ्यूजन होता है, कभी ये ना सोचे कि अरे सर मैं तो फाइनल के अंदर हूँ और मैं पिछले 3 साल से ऑडिट पे जा रहा हूँ, मैं अगर अभी सवाल पूछूंगा वेबिनार के अंदर तो अरविंद भाई सोचेंगे कि अरे यार ये तो बहुत बड़े नेता थे, ये कैसे सवाल पूछ रहे हैं। नहीं, कभी नहीं, हमें तो सीखना है भाई, आपको तो सीखना है, लर्निंग रहनी है, आप सीए बन जाएंगे लास्ट तक भी, अब जब रहेंगे तो भी हमको सीखना ही सीखना है, हमें पूछना है, पूछने में वो हिस्ट्री रखनी है। अपने सीनियर से पूछे, अपने दोस्तों से पूछे, गूगल से भी पूछे, बट थोड़ा लिमिटेड पूछे गूगल से। हमको जब गाइडेंस नोट दे रखा है आईसीआई ने तो पहले गाइडेंस नोट से पूछे, अपने सीनियर से पूछे। हमारे स्पीकर अमित जैन जी, मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा आपकी सर, आपकी मेल आईडी बच्चों शेयर कर ले, आपके अगर मोबाइल नंबर हो बच्चों से, जो हमारे जो कमिटी मेंबर्स है कभी भी ऑलवेज अवेलेबल रहते हैं अमित जी, मैंने देखा है मेंबर्स के लिए, स्टूडेंट्स के लिए। तो कहीं कोई आपकी प्रॉब्लम हो तो प्लीज सबसे पूछिए और अच्छी ऑडिट करके आए, और आपके मन में ये सेटिस्फेक्शन रहना चाहिए कि हाँ मैं देश की प्रगति में भागीदार हूँ, वी आर द पार्टनर इन द नेशन बिल्डिंग। जस्ट अभी एक डिस्कशन हुआ कि 70% ऑडिट हो गई, तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें भी सोचना पड़ेगा 70% हुई क्यों। कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं हम लोग गए थे और हमने जाते ही पूछा कि बोला सर यहाँ घूमने की जगह कौन सी है, सर मैं बॉम्बे जा रहा हूँ, सर मैं दिल्ली जा रहा हूँ, सर घूमने की जगह कौन सी है। ऐसा ना करें, आपको जाना है घूमना है तो पहले बैंक ऑडिट करें, और पूरा ही उसके अंदर आप अपना 100% दे, कोशिश पूरी दे देने की। नहीं आता मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ पढ़े जरूर। व्हाट्स द प्रॉब्लम, मैंने क्या देखा है लास्ट चेयरमैन सर, लास्ट टाइम से, कुछ टाइम से, जब से मैं इसमें थोड़ा हमने कोशिश करी है कि लोगों को थोड़ा अवेयर करें, हमने पढ़ना बंद कर दिया है। हमने व्हाट्सएप पे पढ़ना ज्यादा स्टार्ट कर दिया, हमने गूगल पे पढ़ना ज्यादा स्टार्ट कर दिया, स्टडी मटेरियल्स हमें मिल रहा है बहुत इजी, विद एग्जांपल मिल रहा है, बिल्कुल सिंपल एंड सोबर लैंग्वेज में मिल रहा है, कहीं ऐसा कोई टेक्निकली कोई वर्ड ज्यादा यूज नहीं किया, हम उसे नहीं पढ़ रहे। तो मेरी आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है आप पढ़ें, और कहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम हो तो आपकी सिकासा टीम है, आपके चेयरमैन सर है, वहां कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आती है बैंक ऑडिट के अलावा भी, इवन कोई फॉर्म से रिलेटेड है तो आप कमेटी को बताएं, और डेफिनेटली कहीं आपकी कोई प्रॉब्लम होगी तो डेफिनेटली वी विल देयर to sort out all the problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. Now it's time to introduce our speaker, CA Amit Jain, sir. He has been a part of IC from last 26 years. He has a 17-year experience of CA practice and 6 years in Vodafone and Genpact. He is a lifetime member of Bombay Chartered Accountant Society and was a managing committee member for the term financial year 2019 to 2022. He has attended many seminars and webinars on bank audit over the years as a speaker, and today he will be delivering a speech on bank audit, which is going to be a very important session for all of us. So Amit sir, the virtual dice is yours. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you for the introduction. Respected Anil Kumar Yadav ji, Abhishek, Dhaval sir, Mukesh ji, Pooja, and everybody, Raj Bothra, and everybody in the managing committee. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. I mean, it's always very good. I mean, as said by Anil Kumar Yadav ji and Abhishek ji and everybody, I mean, the articles are always the, I mean, they are the face of the chartered accountants whenever they are going for the bank audits. I mean, sometimes a couple of branches when we are auditing, I mean, the first step being taken by the articles, okay? I mean, and if they are knowledgeable, I mean, it gives a very different feeling to the branch staff and to the, I mean, bank as a whole. Okay, so with these words, I mean, we are going to talk very practical things today about the bank audit as being dwelled upon by the fellow members out here. I mean, I'm just going to start with a very broad perspective. I mean, these days you have seen the bank audit, the banks being flourishing. I mean, State Bank of India declaring a net profit of more than 37,000 crores for, 9 months ending 31st December 2022. Okay, I mean, the banking as a whole, I mean, it has been changing. It is becoming bigger and bigger every day. Okay, I mean, the more bigger it is becoming, the more responsibilities we have when we are auditing such big entities. Okay, I mean, for example, State Bank of India, or for that matter, I mean, the Second Bank of Baroda, they are big oceans. I mean, and to audit these kind of organizations, we need to have very good knowledge. Okay, I mean, everything is knowledge. As said by Anil sir also, I mean, the ICI guidance note, everything, I mean, being issued by the institute, it's the best. I mean, there is no comparison of I mean, the materials that are being issued by the institute. Today, I mean, we are going to talk about, I mean, the day one, I mean, right from the, I mean, we are sitting on the 16th of March today, okay? In next couple of days, we people are going to receive the bank audit assignments as well, okay? The moment, I mean, these are the days, I mean, we need to build our house when it's not raining. That's how we need to do it. This is the best time. I mean, this is the best opportunity that we people have, and we can equip ourselves with the best and the latest that is available. So I'm going to quickly share my presentation, and then we can start rolling. Okay, you're able to see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, I mean, as said by me, I mean, it starts with the appointment. Okay, I'm going to share very practical aspects with you. Okay, I mean, the moment we receive the appointment letters, the first thing that we do is ask for the previous statutory auditor. I mean, the very first thing that we do is before accepting the audit assignment, we have to give the no objection certificate. I mean, it can be given by the email, and it's a very good practice that we send the hard copy of that as well. Okay, so the very first thing that we do is before accepting, we send the no objection letter. I have made couple of, I mean, I've made the folders as well. I mean, how to start with. So I'm going to share it with later during my presentation. Okay. One very important thing is, I mean, we need to, once we give the no objection certificate, I mean, the starting point for any bank audit or rather any audit is, I mean, sending the engagement letter. I mean, where we describe each and everything. I mean, right, starting from what are the documents that we need, what are the system requirements and everything. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly flip between my presentation and the documents that I'm going to share with you. I'm just going to share with you the very first thing about the engagement letter. I mean, that is going to be the starting point. So this is the email that we should be sharing it the moment we are done with the sending the no objection certificate. So this is the you are able to see my Word document, right? Mohibul, we can see the Word document.
Yes, Amit ji.
Okay.
But अभी उसको open नहीं किया आपने ना?
नहीं, I have opened that Word document now.
नहीं हुआ वो हमारे यहाँ screen नहीं आ रही है.
Is it? Okay. Okay. Now can you see that?
Yes, Amit ji.
Okay, fine. Excellent. So, I mean, the very first thing, it's all technology driven these days. So what we need to do is, I mean, primarily the banking is being done in the financial system or the CBS. CBS bank software. So we need to have a very good knowledge of the system as well. So we need to, the very first thing that we need to ask is for the user ID and the password for the financial or the bank software, whatever the software the bank is being used, that is being used by the bank. Okay. And then we need to, it was already being said, we need to go through the circulars and everything. So what we are going to do is, we are going to ask for the circulars as well. The circulars that are being issued for the financial year 2022 and 23. The most important ones are, the service charges circular. The service charges circular includes the processing fee, the documentation charges, the equitable mortgage charges, the things like that, and the rate of interest that is going to be applicable during that period. One very important thing is, list of the advances. The critical areas for any bank audit is the moment. I think Anil sir has already spoken about that. For example, if we are receiving the audit assignment, say for the metro cities or something like that, the one thing we need to ensure about that is, we are just going for the work. So we need to devote 100% time to our audit work only. So the better planning, if we are sending this kind of email, we are following up with the branches, and we know how they are doing or what are the documents that are being that are ready. So with that, we can, if the planning is good, then the execution is going to be excellent. So to start with, we need to have the list of the advances as on 31st March 2023. The first thing that we need to do is sort it descending order wise. These days, all the bank audits, all the statutory audit reporting for majority of the banks, it is being done online. Now gone are the days when we used to have 800, 900 pages of the physical reports, and we used to sign them. Now it's all digital signature. All the advances accounts, all the deposit area that are there in the that we need to report are all online. So we also need to ensure that whatever system that are being used by the different banks, we have the user ID and the password for that system as well. Okay. And the very good practice about to start with the bank audit is, whatever work we have done during the day, it's very good that we update that into the reporting system every day. We have to discuss about that. Firstly, let me go through the checklist that the email that we are going to send in the first go. Okay. So all the advances as of 31st March 2023 with the account number, name, sanction limit, and outstanding amount. The moment we receive, these are the things that can be made available very easily. Okay, I'm writing the data as 31st March 2023. If the branches are big, say if you're auditing for the branches of say more than 500 crores, then the best idea is to shoot the email the moment you receive, the moment you send out your NOC. So that date can be say 20th March 2023, we have the advances list. The moment we have that sorted in the descending order, and the large branches audit, we need to start them by 25th of March. Okay. Or even if you can start it before that, nothing like it. Most of the time, you're going to hear from the branch officials, why you need to start so early. The documents are not going to be ready, or the system is not going to be ready. Then, what should be our approach should be, since we need to have more focus on the advances. So, the advances can be started at any point of time, right from maybe tomorrow or even today itself, okay? Because the loan files have been already processed for the year. They are already there in the system. So we can start auditing, and it's always good. We are going to talk about the checklist as well. I'm just going to give you a very quick flavor of how we need to fill the checklist as well. So once we have the advances list, and then I'm just going to scroll you through what are the other requirements. Okay, unsecured exposure of ₹1 crore. Okay, of more than 1 crore. Probable NPA accounts list as of 15th of March. Okay, we are sitting on 16th of March today, but I'm talking about the list that has already been generated yesterday. Okay, it's very important from the perspective that since we are going to check the classification of advances. One very important thing that we have seen in the last couple of years is, I mean, maybe in the last 2 years, the classification of the non-performing asset accounts, or no NPA accounts, that is 100% these days system driven. Okay, the RBI has come out with a circular that there should not be any manual intervention as far as the classification of the non-performing assets is concerned. So, I mean, these days, I mean, if you see from the auditor's perspective, more or less, I mean, more than 99% the classification of the NPA, you're going to find it correct, unless and until we are going to discuss a few things, I mean, where you can find out that the classification may not be correct in terms of, I mean, the security value that has been inserted, or I mean, the underlying security in the form of working capital that has been, the figures that have been inserted in the core banking system. Otherwise, I mean, as per the classification of the NPA accounts, you might be aware the classification, I mean, the 90 days norm that is there. So the classification of, I mean, the NPA norms, they are same as, I mean, what they were previously. The 90 days norms, or I mean, 180 days, for example, the accounts have not been reviewed for more than 180 days. So the system automatically does the classification. There is no manual intervention as such these days. Okay, but still we need to check, I mean, whether the classification has been done correctly or not. Okay, and then again, a very important thing, accounts that has been declared NPA during the financial year 2022-23. The high value accounts more than 50 lakh, we need to check those files. What is the underlying security and what is the value of the security that has been inserted into the core banking system. Restructured accounts, very important again, I mean, in terms of reporting as well, the restructured accounts during the financial year 2022-23, LAD, I mean, latest acknowledgement of debt, again, that is very important. CC accounts, the cash credit accounts, the working capital accounts, they are being sanctioned for a period of 3 years. So they have a validity of 3 years. But after that, I mean, if we want to continue with the same accounts, we need to have the letter of acknowledgement of debt. So we require the letter, I mean, LEDs from time to time as well. Okay. We also need to have the list of the time barred documents, I mean, which have, I mean, the validity of the documents has expired, and the list of the pending reviews as on 31st March 2023. As I mentioned earlier, I mean, any account which has not been reviewed for more than 180 days as on 31st March 2023, that is going to be classified as NPA in case it has not been reviewed. So, I mean, if you take a date, say any account which has not been reviewed, say before 2nd October, I mean, which was due on 2nd October 2022, but that has not been reviewed, that is going to be an NPA as on 31st March 2023. Again, it's very important. I mean, also, all the accounts that have been reviewed in the last 3 months, say from 1st of January 2023 to 31st March 2023, and out of that, I mean, any account above 50 lakh, we need to check it very, I mean, though that should be in your sample. I mean, that has to be on the top list of the files. Why I'm saying that. Okay, I mean, one thing, anybody who has any question, I mean, in between, I mean, we can make this session more interactive, since you people might have done the bank audits earlier and you might have faced any issues. So in case you have any questions relating to what we are talking about, we would be happy to discuss it maybe in between as well. Okay, so very important to check the reviews that have been done from 1st January to 31st January 2023, and out of that also 15 and above accounts, they scrutinize 100%. We're going to discuss about the checklist also. I mean, what are the points that we need to see while we are checking the advances accounts? Okay, the point number 11, short reviews. Short reviews are the cash credit account. They need to be reviewed every year. Okay, I mean, for example, any account that was sanctioned on 31st January 2022, the due date of review for that account is going to be 30th January 2023. So in case, I mean, how the review is being done is the bank officials, they collect the financial statements and they again reassess. I mean, for example, in the cash credit accounts, say we give the the sanction limit that is being decided by on the turnover basis. So, for example, the turnover of any SSE was say 10 crores in the financial year 2022-23, okay, and 20% is the limit that can be sanctioned. So 2 crore limits we can give for the financial year 2023-24. So I mean, we need the financial statements for renewing any accounts. But for example, the borrower is not providing the financial statement, then in that case, we do the short review. But the short review also, I mean, in terms of the RBI guidelines, we cannot do it for more than 2 short reviews. So, I mean, any account that has been short reviewed for twice in a after the due date, we cannot renew it the third time. So we need to take, I mean, while the short reviews are being done, I mean, again, you have to take a materiality concept is going to be there all the time. We have very limited time, and I'm going to talk about the holidays that are going to come, because I mean, practically we need to execute. We need to cover all the areas with a very good quality. It's very important that we maintain very good working papers, and we have a very good coverage of whatever branch we are auditing. I mean, even if we are auditing, say, 500 crore branch, okay, then we need to ensure that at least 90% of the advances portion we are covering, and the same way with the deposits. I mean, we are going to develop on how we can make the more coverage during the audit. Okay, so these are the things. I mean, this is the checklist. This is the email that we are going to send to the branch. Okay, and then I mean, the very important thing is once we send the email, I mean, it's not like just sending it as has solved the purpose. We need to get the information the moment the moment you shoot out the mail from your mailbox. Okay, after that, I mean, you need to give a call to the branch officials. Asking them that whether they have received the email or not, and how they are, I mean, planning to provide the information that has been listed out here. You need to follow it every day. For example, before the end of the day, on the day when you have sent the email, by the evening you should have some data with you, so that you can start, I mean, start preparing your audit planning. So that's very important. Shooting the email is not is one thing, but regular follow-up till the time that you get all the information, because it's very important that we do all this planning before we physically go to the branches. Okay, so that is how it should be done. I'm just going to quickly walk you through, I mean, the other aspects of that. Okay, accounts, the fresh sanctions during the financial year 2020-23. Whenever we are going to talk about in the banks or the branch audit, you always need to have the materiality concept, whatever the data that you're going to have. For example, if you're auditing the deposits area, okay, and you're checking the, the differential rate of interest that has been given to some depositors. Again, when you have that list, because the depositors are going to be, say, 10,000 depositors are there in any particular branch. So you don't need to, you're not going to audit all the 10,000 depositors. So you need to again have the list in the descending order, the top 50. Always have, I mean, one thing in the mind, that we need to at least do the audit for the top 50 or maybe top 100, depending upon the, the profile of the branch. So the fresh sanctions, again, when you have the list, you have to sort it down. Okay, you don't need to start auditing, say, of 5 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees. You need to start with the accounts which have the exposure of, say, 20 crores or 10 crores or 5 crores, whatever, depending upon the profile of the branch that you are auditing. Okay. One very important thing, you might be aware, the fund-based advances. The fund-based advances are nothing but where we have, the term loans or the cash credit accounts or the overdraft accounts that are being classified as the fund-based limits. The non-fund-based limits are the bank guarantees or the letter of credits. Okay, I mean, they are the off-balance sheet items. We do not give directly, the amount to the customers, but we have, it's a non-fund based exposure that the banks are having. Very important to check the bank guarantees and the letter of credits. Again, what you need to do is you need to have the list from the system. Okay, you need to have a very good, all the list. Again, one thing, if, for example, if you are not having an exposure of, the exposure to the financial or the core banking system, doesn't matter. I mean, you just need to be very good at Excel. Okay, what the data? I mean, the data can be, I mean, no, pulled out from the system by the bank officials. Okay, but most of the data that is being, pulled out of the system, it is in the notepad mostly. Okay, it's good if it is in Excel. Okay, so you need to transfer the data from the notepad to the Excel and then do your analysis, prepare your short report, and then, whenever you step into the bank, okay, whenever you step into the branch, you should be having very good audit. The audit documents, which are, the list of the advances, the top 50 advances, the top 50 deposit areas. One very important thing is, a comparison of the financial statements, how the data, how the figures have moved from the financial year 2021-22 to financial year 2022-23. Okay, a very good comparison. For example, the repo rate that has been increased in the last 1 year. More than maybe 5 times or 6 times the repo rate has changed. Okay, every time the repo rate increases. Okay, so your the deposit rates also increases and your advances rates also increases. Okay. These days, you might be aware, the rate of interest in the advances accounts that is being linked to the EBLR. No, it's dynamic. It's floating rate of interest is there. Okay, so you're going to find maybe couple of times the rate of interest has changed. So as I mentioned, if you go back to the first thing, the circulars that we should be having. This is the, again, practically what we can do is, we can start our research from the bank audit website as well. For example, if you're auditing, say, State Bank of India, go to the website of the State Bank of India and you're going to find out, the history of the external benchmark lending rate that has changed in the last, say, financial year 2020-23. You need to have very good one-pagers. Okay, when you're going for the audit and when you're physically present in the branch, you need to have very good tools available with where you are not the previous people have said. You need to have very good reference check available with all the checklists, all the one-pagers that you people are going to prepare in terms of, for example, to focus on the revenue leakage as well. You need to have very good checklist. If you have the, list available where the rate of interest has changed during the financial year 2022. So when you're checking, say, any particular account and you're checking the rate of interest and the CBS, then what you the current rate of interest. Okay. So, if you know the current EBLR, okay, and the spread in the documents, so you can, you can ensure that the correct rate of interest is being found in the account. Okay. So, one pages that I'm talking about, you need to have it when you hit the branch audit. Okay. Okay. Coming back, the bank guarantees, I have the checklist for the bank guarantees as well. Quickly, see it once we go to that area of the checklist. Okay. A very important thing last time, at the point number 17, the name of the staff members who are there in the branch for 3. Okay. It's very important. The very important thing about the branch audit. It's very difficult, but if you do it diligently, you find out, any fraud that can, that has happened in the branch. If you remember, the PNB Swift related fraud that was being done a couple of years back. Okay. The major reason that was, after investigation, the major reason that was found for that kind of fraud was because only one employee was dealing with that, with the Swift messages, and he wasn't there in the system for more than a couple of years. Okay. So it's very important. We have the list of the staff members who are there in the branch for 3 years. I'm just talking about very, the very major, the important points that we need to dwell upon when we are doing the branch audit. Okay, I've already talked about the comparison of the actual figures with the financial year 21-22 to 22-23, and also we can make a comparison of the budgeted figures. Every branch, with the start of the financial year, they have the budgeted figures. Okay, so you can make a comparison of the budgeted figures with the actual figures. Very important thing. The day one you enter into the branch, I mean, the very first thing that you should be asking is, I mean, the list of the advances, sorting it, and then, I mean, no, going through the advances file. Along with that, you need to ask the audit reports, I mean, the audit that were conducted during the year, financial year 2020-23. One very important report that should be available in the branch should be the internal audit report, okay? I mean, and you just need to, I mean, the internal audit report these days, I mean, again, it is going to be in the system, okay? So what you need to do is, you need to have the synopsis. I mean, you just need to read the synopsis of that report. Very important that we read. I mean, what were the observations? Since the internal audit report, the coverage being done is, I mean, they do an audit for all the 80% of the advances that are there on a particular date. Okay. So they do a very, I mean, micro audit for every advances file, and also with the deposit area and the other operational areas of the branch. Okay. So one very handy tool available, or handy, I mean, information that is going to be available with you is going to be the internal audit report. Okay. And if the branch is under the concurrent audit, you should ask for the concurrent audit report as well. Okay. Concurrent audit is being done. The reports are being released for every month. So maybe you can ask, I mean, the latest audit report. Since you people are going to be there in the branches somewhere in the middle of, I mean, somewhere in the start of April or last week of March. So the best is to ask for the report for the 20th February 2023. Okay. So those are the things. One very important thing I would like to discuss here is, I mean, top 50 loan files. Okay. I mean, top 50 loan files. And what we need to, I mean, if you see, I mean, I've marked it as put the flags in the top 50 files. I mean, practically what does, I mean, whenever we, since if you people have observed, I mean, whenever the internal auditors come in the branch, their own staff, then, I mean, they ask all the, I mean, the credit officials to have all the loan files and put the flag into them. Okay. The flag for, I mean, since you people are going to be doing the audit for the financial year 2020-23, say we have a cash credit account which has been renewed during the year, and that has a limit of say 10 crore. Okay. So we are not going to look at the old papers. We are just going to look at, I mean, the fresh renewal that has been done during our financial year, which is under audit. So the best thing that you can do is, again, I would request everybody out here. I mean, you are the pillars for every CA firm. Okay. So you need to ask, I mean, the branch officials to put the flag onto the files. Okay. The flag for, I mean, the stickies that are available. Okay. So you just ask them to put the stickies onto the sanction letter, the appraisal note, the application form, the KYC documents of the borrower, the CIBIL report, pre-sanction report, title investigation report, the valuation report, and the financial statement. Why I'm telling you, I mean, since we have a very short and very limited period available when we are there in the branches. Okay, if we are doing more than 2 branches, so maybe you are going to have some 4-5 days available with the one branch. Okay, and as I said earlier, I mean, if we want to increase our coverage, then again, this is the best thing that you can ask the branch officials. And for the statutory audit purpose, I mean, since they are keen on getting it for the timely completion, so they, I mean, if you even get it for 20 files or 10 files, maybe, okay, then this type of, I mean, the data or the documents is going to make your life very easy. I mean, believe me, if you're filling out the checklist, and if you have this kind of, I mean, information available with you, I mean, your path is going to be very smooth. Okay. So I mean, one very important thing, I mean, if you want to note it down, I mean, top 50 files, put the flag onto the files. I mean, that is the best thing. I mean, again, if you are going to send this kind of email to the branches or to the branch officials, okay, you are going to have a very good impression. I mean, that you have the knowledge and you have the right kind of approach to the audit. Because I mean, the sole motto of, I mean, we people doing the audit is we are giving an opinion that whatever the figures that are there in the branch balance sheet, they are looking good as far as, I mean, whatever the asset side is concerned or the liability side is concerned. Okay, so it's very important. We need to protect, I mean, the bank's assets. I mean, that should be the sole motto. We need to ensure that anything, I mean, for any of the advances that is not that is there in the branch balance sheet, that is good and that is earning the proper income for the bank. Okay, so that's very important. Okay, I mean, circulars in connection with the accounts, I mean, that is where we have already talked about. Okay, one very important thing, balancing of the books. Every bank has a, I mean, you should be asking of one thing is the balancing report. A balancing report is nothing but, I mean, no, it gives you, I mean, it is the best thing that you are, that is again available with the branches, okay? You need to, this is again line item wise. For example, there are, say, 29,000 accounts in a particular branch, including, I mean, the depositors, the loans, the salary assets, the suspense account, each and every account in the branch that is there, that is going to come out in the balancing report. Okay. So you need to have the balancing report for the 20th of March and 31st of March. Why I'm telling you is, I mean, again, one very important thing is you might have heard about the window dressing. Okay. So there are a couple of things that we need to report about the window dressing. So we can make a, if you have that in the Excel, I mean, again, you can sort it descending order wise, and you can see how the say advances accounts are moving. I mean, how much variation is there in the deposits and the advances, say in the top 50 accounts. Also, you can have, I mean, this balancing report is going to give you the account numbers for I mean, which you can, which are going to be very helpful when you are, say, I mean, seeing the movement in the suspense account or the sundry deposit accounts, or other sundry assets account. I mean, whatever the accounts that are there and which are there in the long form audit report also. I mean, we are not going to talk much about the long form audit report, but yes, I mean, there is one point relating to the, I mean, the movement of entries in the suspense account or the sundry assets account. Again, that, I mean, the challenge that we found is we are not able to find out the account numbers. If you're going to have the balancing report, it's going to give you the complete picture of, I mean, each and every account that is there in the branch. Okay. Overdue and mature audit. I mean, there's a very simple policy around that. I mean, these days, automatically auto renewal of the accounts is there. Okay, so you just need to have again, you're going to find out one head in the balance sheet relating to the overdue or the mature deposits. Okay, advances, we have already talked about the advances. I mean, where we are going to talk about not only the list of the advances, but also the top 50 files with the flag into being inserted into those files. That's again very important thing. Okay. Yes. Special emphasis on the NPA that we already talked about. Again, the bank guarantees. Yes, bank guarantees. I've already told you. I mean, we need to take the list of the bank guarantees that are outstanding as on 31st March 2023, and also the letter of credit outstanding as on that date. Okay. One very important thing is guarantees invoked during the financial year 2020-23. Any bank guarantee that has been invoked at any point of time during the financial year, that automatically becomes an advances for the bank. Okay, so that's very important. We need to have that list as well. Okay, the devolved LC, similarly, we need to have the list of the devolved LC. Okay, the credit cards. I mean, are there any overdues on the credit cards, and how the branches are following up on that? Okay, the advances to the staff. Sundries and the suspense we have already talked about. From the balancing report, you can have the account numbers, and I mean, from there you can start seeing how the accounts have been moving during the financial year. Okay. Inter-branch and the office accounts, the reconciliation relating to them. I mean, we just need to have the final reconciliation relating to that. Okay. Long form audit report, tax audit. I mean, these days, I mean, most of the banks, the majority of the banks, they have centralized tax audit. I mean, the tax filing system. For example, the TDS returns of all majority of the banks, they are being filed centrally. Okay, so I mean, you just need to collate those information and then put it for your Form 3CD. Okay. Okay, one very important thing I would like to discuss about here is the memorandum of changes. Okay, this is the one of the most important thing. I mean, I can tell you. Say from the management perspective of the bank, this is the thing. This is the ultimate thing. I mean, all said and done, everything said and done. You do whatever you want to do in the long form audit report, or I mean, no, the advances you want to write. I mean, no, there are a lot of observations in a particular loan file. I mean, no, the one thing that everybody is looking at is memorandum of changes. Okay, this is the thing that is being monitored, say at the GM level or the chief general manager level or rather executive director level. Okay, anything that is no all the observations that we are putting it, and that is coming out in the form of MOC, memorandum of changes. I mean, no, and that is going to be an eye opener for the bank as a whole. Okay, so I mean, one of my requests would be anything that is, I mean, no, that is, for example, if you're finding out any revenue leakage in any account and that is material, say, I mean, no, we have detected a revenue leakage of 1 lakh rupees. Again, then that has to be processed through the memorandum of changes. One of my recommendation is, I mean, know what Anil sir has also mentioned during the initial part of his speech. I mean, it's very important that you discuss all your observations with your principal or your boss first, and then discuss it with the branch official. All the material observations that you have, okay. I mean, you need to first discuss it with your principal, and then discuss it with the branch officials. Anything that is going to result into a memorandum of change in a MOC. Okay, so I mean, you just have to deal directly with your principal or the boss. Okay, I mean, never cut across your boss and then directly deal it with the branch official. It's very important that we discuss all these things with our principal only. Okay. Again, one important thing is we are going to talk about a few things relating to MOC later during the part. Okay, I'm just going to quickly run you through the other items of the email that we are going to send to the branches. Okay, complaints, again, very important from the perspective that you're going to find out if any anything that is leading to any accountability for the staff. For example, there was some complaint by the customer saying that that any particular staff was involved in any transaction or anything related to their query. Okay, so it's very important that we go through all the online and the manual complaints. Okay, there's a complaint register available with every branch, so we need to ask about the complaint register. My recommendation would be, any complaint that is that has gone to the ombudsman, the Reserve Bank of India ombudsman. Those complaints, you need to take a copy of that and just go through that, what exactly it was and whether it has been resolved or not. Okay. Survey report, survey is nothing but the survey these days are being done for the two things. Okay. Earlier it was only for the immobile properties. From last couple of years, it has started for the cash credit limits as well. Okay. So anything that is, for example, if anybody has taken a cash credit limit, okay, and he has provide then a survey ID is also going to be issued for the working capital limit that has been taken by the particular borrower. Okay. One last thing, very important thing is exception reports. Very important to check the exception reports both for the financial and the non-financial things. Okay, you cannot. It is mandatory for every branch to have. Even if they are not taking the printout of the reports, but they need to have a dedicated folder where they're going to. Where they are going to put all the exception reports into the one particular folder. Please, my request is, you need to go through at least 15 to 20 exception reports and, just glance through them, look at them, know how the things are looking. For example, you're going to find out for the financial, in the exception reports relating to the financial transactions, you're going to find out somebody has a limit of, say, 20 lakh, okay? And he has, the limit was overdrawn during a particular day and it has gone up to 22 lakhs. So, you can check, whether the these kind of things are regularly happening or not. That is again going to give you a clue to, further dwell upon whether we need to focus upon those particular things or not. Okay. So this is the complete email that we need to send. About 17 items are there. Very important from the perspective to start with audit. This should be your, again, you need to take a printout of that and start taking it every day, and you need to follow it every day. And whenever, even if you are there in the physically in the branch, okay, this is going to come very handy so that you have the proper, information available with you. Okay, I'm just going to switch over to my PowerPoint slide now. Okay, this was the thing that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so okay, you're able to see my PowerPoint, Dhavalji? Moipuri, you are able to see my PPT?
Yes, Amit ji.
Okay, fine. Okay, and I'm just going to, so this was the first thing, okay, issuing the email to the branch, okay, and then I'm going to also talk about the audit program, okay. I have these one Excel program for that. Yes, but before going to that, I'm just going to quickly walk you through a couple of my slides and then let you know. One very important thing is for the outside assignments, you need to prepare a very good itinerary as well. Okay, when you are going to reach to the branch, one of my requests would be always try and again we are going to talk very practical about practical aspect of doing the branch the bank audits. This is a very important assignment that we people handle. Okay, and this is only being done by the chartered accountants, and is already emphasized by everybody, whether by Abhishek sir or maybe by Anil sir. The article assistants, they are the pillars, they are the most important assets. And whatever you people are doing, for example, any loan files that are being checked by you people, say 100 loan files you have checked during the 5 days, okay, a team of say 2 people. So all those files, whatever you have checked, those are going to be the final output of our, the final reports. Okay, so whatever you people are checking, that is very important. Okay, without articles, the quality of the the bank audits or the branch audits, they cannot be up to mark. So you need to prepare a very good itinerary, and saying that you always try and have a maximum utilization of your time. Okay, the maximum time you need to spend there out at the branch itself. Okay, so one of my requests would be, generally the branches, they open at 10. Okay, but even if you reach there at 9:30, should not be a problem, because so that you can again, one of my requests would be before the end of the day, when you go when you are wrapping up your day wrapping up your day. Okay, so one thing you need to do is, for tomorrow, whenever you're going to come into the branch, have all the files or all the documents that you need tomorrow, have it stored in one particular area. Okay, so that even if somebody is not coming, our time is very short. Okay, there is no excuse that somebody is on leave or somebody is not coming. Doesn't make sense for us. Okay, so what we need to do is, whatever documents that we need for tomorrow, okay, we need to have it properly placed one day before. Okay, before you're wrapping up for the day, just ensure that all the files are there, that they are in place. Okay, even if you want to do say 20 audits, just ensure that the 30 files are there one day before. Okay, and also you need to ensure, one of my requests would be, whenever we are out for the statutory audits, practically we have seen that, the credit officials or the branch officials, they would always like you to go out for the lunch or no. One of my requests would be, going to and fro. These days, the traffic is too much. Okay, once you are out for any lunch or something, some stuff like that, it should be consuming around 1.5 to 2 hours. Okay, so always, since we want to utilize our the time, optimize our time. So my request would be, the working lunches should always be there for whenever we are there in the branch audits. Okay, that is again going to give a very good idea to the branch officials. That we are there for the quality audits. Okay, we are very pretty much maintain the auditing standards that we people follow. Okay, our institute, it's the best. Okay, all the information that is being provided, whether it's in the form, the draft, what Anil sir has mentioned earlier, the guidance note. Okay, the institute has come out with the draft guidance note way back in the I think last week of January or early week of February. Okay, so that guidance note is also there. There are lot many things that are there. All the checklists and everything. You have every tool available with you. You just need to give your best. Okay, and try. It's not like we want to do the reporting and we are just there to find out fault. Okay, our job, our responsibility is that we ensure that whenever we are giving the opinion, it's looking true and fair. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to quickly walk you through the practical things that are going to be there in the coming next 20 days or rather a month. Okay. So, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, for the large branches, we can start the audit maybe tomorrow as well. Okay. And, for example, the central statutory auditors, they have the 20 largest branches available with them. Okay. So they start auditing even when we are speaking. And, when we people are having this interaction, maybe the central statutory auditors, they have already started their audit for the large branches. Okay. So that is the thing that we need to also do for us. Okay. But one very important thing for this particular year is, I mean, there are many holidays that we are going to see, and it's very difficult. I mean, that during the holidays, we are asking the branch officials to come. For example, 25th March, that is going to be the 4th Saturday. Again, it's a holiday. 30th March, Ram Navami, it's again a holiday. Okay. I haven't written the year 1st April, but 1st April is also a holiday, but the banks are going to be open for, the year-end closing. But again, the 4th of April, that is going to be a holiday, 7th, 8th, and 14th. Okay. And our prime time is going to be, say, from 25th of March to, say, 20th of April. Okay. So in all 26 days, I haven't written the Sundays out here. So there are many holidays, maybe 20 to 30% time that are going to be holidays. And believe me, practically, it's very difficult. For example, when we see a couple of times, the bank officials who are outside, okay, for example, they are not living at the station where the branch is there. If they are the outside people, looking to the all weekends that we people are going to have, they are going to go away, okay? And there is no, again, as I told you, there should not be any excuse that we are not auditing the things as per the timelines. Okay, we need to we need to deliver our reporting requirements as per the deadlines that are going to be there. Mostly, it is going to be between 15th of April to 20th of April. But at any cost, we should not be compromising the quality. Okay, so you need to plan your audit. Oh, okay, one very good thing that you can do is before when you do the opening meeting. It's very important that you do one of the opening meetings with the branch officials. Okay. By opening meeting, what I mean is you can do it over Zoom as well these days. Once you receive the assignment, okay. Once you send out the email requirements to the branch, okay. Just schedule a Zoom meeting with them. Explaining them that this is the day that you're going to come to the branch, okay. And this is the audit approach that you're going to have. If you have a very clear cut, communication with them in the opening meeting, then that is going to help you a lot. And just clarify them that we are all working on all the Sundays and all the holidays that are coming in between. So that is going to be very helpful. Okay. Okay. As far as the system is concerned, the system is not going to be available most of the time. You might have seen in the last years as well. Okay, 1st of April to 3rd of April, generally the system reporting servers are not available. Okay, so you're not going to have the reports, or you are would not be able to generate the reports. Nothing. You don't need to bother about that, because we as I told you earlier, we are going to start the audit with the advances area. Okay, so you need to check the files physically or whatever way they are available. Okay, one of the things that we hear many times is from the branch officials is why you are going to come on 1st of April, or why you are going to come on 31st of March for that sake. Okay. But just reply them, we don't need the system. Okay, they are going to say that the system is not available. Why you want to come? No, the reports are going to come, say, on 5th of April or 6th of April. Why don't you come at that point of time? But no, we need to start our audit as soon as possible, because we need to verify we need to have the whole coverage of all the things. Okay, so those are the things that you need to take care. We also need to have the reports. Okay, there are monthly certificates that are being sent by the branches. Okay, they are very important. For example, many of the branches, they are sending the monthly MIS to their regional offices or to their zonal offices. For example, all the sanctions, all the fresh loans that have been sanctioned during a particular month, that data is being sent every month to the regional office or to the zonal office. Okay, so you need to have all the MIS, management information system, the reports that are being sent by the branches to the to their controlling offices, we need to have a quick look at that, look at those reports as well. Okay. We have already discussed about the email to be sent to the branches. Okay, we are going to. I'm going to quickly walk you through the audit program as well. Okay, I've already talked about, the data to be received from the branches, and we have to sort the loan list in the descending order. We have already talked about this thing as well. No, to put the flags into the onto the loan files. Again, it's very important for speeding up your audit work. Okay, and that is going to bring out the very good quality as well. Okay, so those are the very important things. Yes. Before I'm going to quickly walk you through the audit program and the checklist as well. Okay. One very important thing is, for example, we have you're just two people. They are just your boss and one article or two articles, and you have one or two employees. Okay, there's a team of say 5 or 7 people available with us, and we have to audit more than 2 branches. So that is going to be a pretty big, pretty much a good challenge, that how you're going to compete with so many with these many resources. Okay, and you need skilled resources as well during this point of time. So what you can do is, the best thing to do during the statutory audit is involve the branch officials with your work. Okay, for example, one of the articles is doing auditing one particular loan file. Okay, so if you're not able to find out the documents, take the help, involve the credit officer or any other branch official and ask them, I'm not able to find out the documents, can you please put a flag in case the flags are not being put. Okay, just ask them to put a flag on the files that are there. Okay, so it's very, very important that we involve the branch officials. For example, if you're doing the operational area audit, for example, you're checking the account opening forms for the current accounts or for the saving accounts, or you're checking the vouchers for that sake. Okay, so you can always ask the branch officials to make the data available with you. And the one very best thing available with you is, always give a one-pager list of the documents that you require one day prior to your requirement. Okay, I'm going to share with you the checklist as well relating to that. Okay, and as I told you, the very first day that we are going to, we are going to receive appointment letters. We have sent the no objection certificates. We have sent the email requirements list to the branches. We are following up with the branches for getting the required data that has been listed in the email. Okay, and we are also simultaneously preparing our checklist and our one pagers and our top 50 accounts list. Okay, so all these things, if you have this kind of data or the papers available with you, then that is 100% going to bring a very different report for you. Okay, checklist, and we are going to talk about sometime later. Okay, one very important thing is, I told you, any matter relating to the memorandum of changes, you don't need to directly discuss it with the branch officials. Okay, you always, practically, you're always going to find out, during the lunchtime or during the high tea. They are the branch officials are interacting with you people. Asking Ashka, what are the things that you have found out during the for your observations, whether any MOC is there or not. Always they are going to ask you, koi MOC ban raha hai ki nahi ban raha hai. That is the, I told you, all said and done, the MOCs are the ultimate outcome that matters to the branch as a whole. Okay, but one very important thing I would request and I would recommend to all the articles or to all the colleagues that are going to be there in the branch audit, don't get influenced by the branch officials. All your material findings or immaterial findings, you first need to discuss it with your principal, and then interact with the branch officials. So that's very important. Don't get at any point of time. Your the ultimate decision making should be with your principal or to your senior who's available with you. Okay. Okay. One very important thing is these days, as I mentioned, the Finacle or the bank software that is being used for the the banking transactions as a whole. But these days, from the last 2 or 3 years, or rather more than 4 years as of now, all the loan documents are also being processed in a particular software. For example, I mean, the Union Bank of India, they are using the LAS system, lending automation system. The Bank of India, they are using the CAP system. The State Bank of India, they are using the LLMS, or I mean, the LOS software for processing of the loans. So all the loans that are being processed, they are being processed in a particular software. Okay, and there is an there is also a link between the software that are being used for the loans and the core banking solution, the CBS. So, for example, the branch officials, any loan that is being processed by them, right from the taking the application and then finally sanctioning it, okay, that is being done in that particular software. So, I mean, being an auditor, okay, since we have a very less time, so what you can do is, for, I mean, the sample that you have selected, for example, you have selected an housing loan of say 5 crore that has been sanctioned during your tenure. So, I mean, what you can do is check that particular loan file in that particular software. Okay. I mean, you don't need to have the knowledge of that software. What you need to do is, what are the figures that have been inserted in that software and how the processing of the loan has been done. By this, what I mean is, for example, I mean, for any home loan, for that sake, for example, you need to check for 5 crore loan that has been given. So that is, I mean, there are a couple of criteria on which, I mean, we sanction the housing loan. So the loan eligibility that has been calculated by the system. So, I mean, we need to punch in few figures. For example, we need to punch in the total income of that particular borrower for the last 3 financial years. Okay. So within that particular income, you can tell you that total income that has been inserted into the loan processing software with the ITRs that are available, the income tax returns. So one-to-one matching can be done for the high value files. Okay. Why I'm telling you this is, in case the correct figures have been inserted, okay, then you are going to be rest assured that the processing is going to be done very nicely. Okay. And when you're checking the samples of the file, so for example, your sample is going to have say 80 files or 100 files that you're going to fill the checklist for. With the first 10 files, you're going to get a flavor of how the processing is being done by a particular branch. Believe me, I mean, what our experience is, every branch or has a different way of arranging the loan documents. Okay, I mean, for example, the application form, in some of the files you're going to find it at the bottom. Okay, and sometimes you're going to find it at the top. But whenever you're checking a particular branch, you're going to find the same sequence of the set that is available. Okay, I mean, are you getting it? What I'm trying to tell you is, I mean, the flow of the documents, the sequencing of the documents, you're going to get a very good flavor once you are done with the 10 files. Okay, and in case you're satisfied with the with the processing of the data, how it is being inserted into the system, and it gives in 100% assurance, that the things are in good shape. I mean, that is again a very, I mean, the diligent thing that you need to observe. Okay, we cannot do, I mean, we cannot say, for example, there are 800 loan files that are available in a particular branch. Okay, in that time frame, the available time frame, we would not be able to do all the 800 files. But if we know, I mean, how the loans are being processed for a sample, then I mean, we can have an assurance that that the processing is being done as per the guidelines or not. Okay, revenue leakage, again, I mean, if you remember, I told you one page that needs to be prepared. All the I mean, the charges that are being applicable. For example, the processing fee, the equitable mortgage creation charges, okay, the documentation charges, the CERC charges, the CIBIL charges, the inspection charges, okay. All charges, you need to have one good pager, so that, I mean, and you can check, you need to go through the system. You have to, I mean, there are going to be a couple of things that I'm going to tell you that you need to check from the system as well. Okay, you need to check the transactions in the system. You need to open, for example, we are going to check the financial transactions that are available for the, say, maybe last 10 months or the last 8 months, okay, depending upon, if you find something, fishy in the transactions, or the transactions are irregular, there's no turnover in the account, or there's a poor turnover in the account, then you need to, do the transaction audit as per the, your observations for the particular accounts, okay. Non-fund based limits, I've already mentioned. These days, the physical registers are still being maintained for the bank guarantees and the letter of credit, okay. Though you can have this report from the system, but the physical registers are also available for all the expired things. You need to check that, the original bank guarantee documents are they are being called from the beneficiary or not, okay. So these are the things that we wanted to quickly develop on, okay. Yes. One, as I mentioned earlier, these days the statutory audit report, gone are the days when we used to physically sign, all the 1,000 pages for the bank, for the branch audit. These days, it's all complete digitization has been done for majority of the banks. Okay, I don't think there's any there are any banks which are doing the physical papers. Leave aside. In terms of the public sector banks or the private sector banks. Okay, maybe cooperative banks or the NBFCs, they might be having the physical reporting pattern. So one very important thing is all the observations that you have during the day, for example, you have done the audit for say 20 loan accounts. You need to start inserting your observations into the reporting software. Why I'm talking about this is so that by the time that you're going to complete your report, say on the 7th day or the 8th day, when you are finalizing your report, all the observation that is getting accumulated every day, you're going to have a very beautiful report on the final day when you are completing your report. So, very important that, in the last, for example, if you're going to wind it up at 9 in the night, okay, at 8 o'clock, start feeding, your observations into the reporting software. One, it is not only going to help you in your final reporting, but you're also going to come to know whether there are any glitches in the reporting software or not. Because many times it happens, you are putting the observations, but they are not getting saved. There can be n number of things that can be there. Okay, so that is going to be very helpful. Okay, we have already talked about material observations. First, you need to discuss it with your principal of the firm. Okay, and yes, the memorandum of changes. Even if you have something relating to memorandum of changes, you don't need to directly discuss it with the branch official, and never do it on the first 3 or 4 days. You need to preserve your audit working papers, even if there is a memorandum of changes. If the branch officials are going to come to know, that there's a point relating to the MOC, they are not going to, they are going to take away your time, in discussing the whole matter relating to that. Since we need to cover our audit, we need to have a good coverage, and we need to do the best audit. Okay, so don't discuss anything relating to the memorandum of changes with the in your initial phases or the initial days of your audit. Okay, that has to be discussed on the last or the second last day with the branch official, because the moment you tell them that there's an MOC, the whole perception is going to change. Whatever the information that they are providing you, you're suddenly going to see that they put the brakes onto that. So it's very important that we do not we do not discuss anything relating to MOC in the first 4 or 5 days. Okay, that has to be done during the second last or the last day of your reporting. Okay, I'm just going to quickly, since we have talked about the checklist, so I'm going to quickly discuss with you the checklist. Now we are going to go into some deep diving into the particular things. Okay, so for example, if we are doing the personal loans thing, okay. Okay, I hope you are able to see the Excel checklist. Are you able to see?
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So, I mean, I'm just going to quickly discuss with you the few points, checklist that should be there. Okay. For every loan file that you're going to check, you need to fill, I mean, this particular checklist. Okay. Just starting with any major observation, I mean, you need to put yes or no for that. Okay. This loan checklist is for say housing loan. Okay. One very important very quick aspects I'm going to deal with relating to the housing loan. Okay. These are the quick bites that you can have, and that is going to have, I mean, it's some very different knowledge that you should be carrying with yourself when you're visiting the branch. If you also need to check that for the housing loans, the co-applicants, who are going to be the co-applicants in the housing loans. For the male members, it can be only wife, father, mother, and son, daughter-in-law, or the unmarried daughters. Okay, it cannot be that the two brothers are taking the loan together. Okay, or two friends rather. I mean, no, unless and until they are I mean, the co-owners in the property, they cannot be the borrowers. Okay, I mean, it has to be some close relative who are going to be the borrowers. Okay, again, this checklist has I mean, has listed down, but there's only one no flag that I'm going to put here. Different banks can have some different criteria for that, but I mean, generally, you need to see that can be an, I mean, no very differentiating point. If in case, I mean, no, the loan has been given to somebody, to the borrower who should not have been given the loan, then ab initio that loan is incorrect and you need to recall that loan. Okay. So that's very important. Okay. One very important thing is the third house. For example, if a borrower is already having two houses, okay, then the third house that the borrower is going to purchase, then that is going to have an classified as commercial real estate loan. Okay. What do I mean? Commercial real estate loan is nothing. For example, the housing loan, it has a rate of a normal housing loan has a rate of interest of 8.25%, but a commercial real estate is going to have a premium rate of interest. Okay, I mean, there's always going to be more spread for that particular loan. Say, for example, it is the normal housing loan is for 8.25%, but a commercial real estate loan is going to be at 9%. Okay, so any borrower who's having more than I mean, who's taking a loan for the third house, that is going to be under the commercial real estate of the classification is going to be commercial real estate loan. Okay, one very important thing is from the revenue leakage perspective, if you're not classified that loan as a commercial real estate, then I mean, no, there's going to be a revenue leakage. You need to have a higher rate of interest for that. I mean, then you can point out the revenue leakage in that case also. Okay. Okay, then there are a couple of things. I mean, I'm just going to walk you through. I mean, the maximum repayment period, for example, it has to be 30 years. Okay, the margin that is up to 30 lakh, it has to be 10%, and between 30 to 75 lakh, it has to be 20%, some so on and so forth. Okay. For example, this is the account number. You need to punch in the account number, the limit, say in lakh. Say you are checking a loan of 1 crore 50 lakhs. So you need to put all those figures, no? Type of loan, this is the home loan, okay? What is the rate of interest sanctioned by, whether the appraisal note is there or not, okay? Loan eligibility sheet. One very important change in loan eligibility sheet. When I mean, what I mean by eligibility sheet is, for example, if whenever a housing loan is being given, okay, so for say salary class, any professional who's taking or any businessman who's taking, for the total income multiplied by 6 times of that, that is going to be the loan eligibility amount. Okay, so you need to check it very diligently. If you remember one thing I've told you from the loan processing software, you can, I mean, find out whether the correct eligible amount has been sanctioned to the particular borrower or not. So it is going to be very important aspect of checking. If for example, if I have sanctioned a loan of 150 lakh, okay, to any borrower, but his or her eligibility is just say 100 lakh, then I mean, the 50 lakh loan, you need to recall that. So that is, I mean, very important of calculating, seeing the loan eligibility. Okay, one very important thing is source of income. Again, very important thing. whenever you are going to see no eligibility amount, then always check the source of income. I mean, you also need to see how the income is being, I mean, the 17 point is relating to that only. I mean, the variation in the income, no, any 25% variation in the last 3 financial years income, then I mean, no, it has to be justified. I mean, again, then you have to take the average of the 3 years. Okay, we are just doing in one micro analysis for particular home loan. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, telling you the critical points that you need to. These are the areas maybe which have a material impact and which can have the impact of even to the extent that you have to recall the loan. Okay. So source of income, for example, if somebody is having, I mean, no, only the commission income, and say he or she is having a commission income of 10 lakhs and no other income, then in that case, we need to see what type of, I mean, no, the agency business that he or she is doing. Okay. Okay, I mean, whenever you're giving amount of money for borrowing, okay, what I'm going to ensure is that he or she is able to repay that loan or not. Okay, so one of the important thing is, I mean, you need to, I mean, at the initial stage, if we are giving a loan to somebody who has got a consistent source of income, then rest assured that, I mean, that loan is going to be repaid as per the, I mean, as per the terms and conditions that you have sanctioned the loan. But in case, I mean, you have sanctioned the loan to the wrong person, okay, who's not having a consistent source of income, or I mean, you're not able to, he or she is not would not be able to sustain that income in the future as well. Okay, I mean, you cannot ensure the future, but you can look at the history, you can look at the present. Okay, so it's very important that we check the, I mean, the eligibility amount very diligently. If, I mean, number one thing is the source. Okay, he should be having the consistent source. You need to ensure the business transactions in the reflected in the bank statements, that is correct or not. Okay, if he's a salary class, he's there, he's on the rolls of any particular company, and he's a permanent employee. Okay, you cannot give a loan to a person who's just one month in the system. Okay, and the source of income has to be, I mean, we need to verify the very diligently the source of income. Okay, and the eligibility amount, for example, if somebody is having, I mean, there are 5 heads of income in any statement of total income. Okay, whenever we are calculating the eligibility for any loan account, then we do not consider the exceptional item. For example, if I've shown an income of say 20 lakh in my financial year 2020-23, okay, and that is having a capital gain of say 5 lakh, then I'm not going to include that income for the eligibility amount. Okay, I need to exclude that short-term or long-term capital gain from my eligibility amount. Okay, so you're getting it. I mean, we need to ensure that whatever income that we are taking, that is consistent source of income, and there is no exceptional item into that. Okay, we have already talked about, I mean, the variation of 25%. If there is a variation of 25%, then you need to take, for example, the total income for any person was 10 lakh in the financial year 2020-21, and in the 21-22 it has become say 22 lakh. Then there is a variation of maybe more than 100% in that. So we cannot take an income of 22 lakh for that person. Okay, we need to take the average of last 3 financial years. So that's again very important. Okay. Again, one very important, I'm not going to discuss about all the points in this particular checklist. Okay, so you need to fill all the points. Application form. One very important thing is application form. I mean, the loan amount that is being requested. For example, if somebody is asking a loan for 150 lakh, okay, and in the application form he has just mentioned that, I mean, he wants a loan of say 125 lakh only, and we have sanctioned a loan of 150 lakh. That is not possible at all. So the one very important thing that you need to check whenever you are checking any application form is loan requested amount and the sanction amount. The loan requested amount cannot be more than the I mean, the sanction amount cannot be more than the requested amount. So you need to be doubly sure about the application form. Okay. I mean, there are other aspects also that you need to check in the application form. For example, I mean, the figures relating to the income, whether it has been properly signed by all the borrowers and the co-borrowers or not. Okay. Again, one very important thing is pre-sanction report. Pre-sanction report is nothing but, I mean, when the branch officials, they physically visit to the they do a physical inspection of, say, home of the borrower. I mean, the place where he or she is living, and also to the business place, or I mean, for example, he's working somewhere. Then I mean, a pre-sanction report is going to be available. That is very important. I mean, again, I mean, we just need to ensure that the loan is being repaid on the time. You're not giving a loan to anybody who is fictitious. No, for example, but once we go to the borrower's house, at least we come to know, where he's living, what is his residential address. We can verify the KYC documents, and when we visit the business place, it gives the branch official a flavor. I mean, how the business is being run, what would be the turnover, how it is looking like. Okay, so it's very important, and it has to be properly signed by the branch official who is visiting the report. Whenever any loan, I mean, that is going to be turning NPA, non-performing asset, then I mean, what are the documents that are going to be looked at? I mean, the application form, the pre-sanction report, the person who has visited the borrower and how he has reported those things. Okay. Again, very important thing is CIBIL verification. Okay. These days, if you're going to see the personal loans, the rate of interest that is being linked to the CIBIL score. For example, if somebody is having a CIBIL score of 750 plus, then he or she is going to have an advantage with the rate of interest. Okay, so that's very again that's again very important. The CIBIL in the CIBIL report, what you need to see is, I mean, I'm just going to talk about the very core thing that you need to see. There's going to be one summary where, I mean, which is going to talk about total sanction amount and what is the loan amount outstanding and whether there is any overdue or not. Okay, so in case if any borrower is having any overdue amount, so you need to, I mean, check that. I mean, why it was overdue. And I mean, generally what happens is, if I mean, if anybody is going to walk in to any branch for asking for any loan, so the first thing that the branch officials, they are going to take out is the CIBIL report. Okay, in case the CIBIL is not looking good, for example, is showing an overdue, they are not going to, I mean, give a loan at first perspective. But not many times, practically what happens is, they are, I mean, most of the time you're going to find out that there are some write-off relating to the credit card dues, say 1,000 rupees that has been written off relating to any credit cards. So, I mean, then you need to take an undertaking, or I mean, you need to find out from the borrower why it was done. Most of the times that you get the reply from the borrowers are, I mean, they're going to say that I've taken a credit card that was issued without my, I mean, no acknowledgement, and they have put some charges. So whatever may be the story, okay, you need to identify why it was done, and you also need to see the materiality of the amount. Many times you are going to find out that the borrower was, I mean, the person whom you are giving the loan, he or she is a guarantor to a particular person, okay, and that loan has been defaulted. Then again, that is also going to appear into your CIBIL. So you need to find out, I mean, if there's any overdue or any account in the status, on the status portion, it is showing as written off or no suit filed account, then that is going to be, I mean, the checkpoint for that particular CIBIL report. Okay. Again, very important thing is valuation report. Okay. Valuation report, for example, in the house property case, we obtain the valuation report. So the valuation report is going to contain four, I mean, the four values. The TLC value, the government specified rate for any particular immovable property. Okay. MV is market value, RV is realizable value, and DSV is distressed value. Okay. So generally what happens is, I mean, the branches, whenever they put the figure, if you remember, I told you in the initial stage, they against any housing loan, you're going to feed the security amount into the system. Okay, that is going to be the realizable value. Generally, I mean, the realizable value is what the I mean, the banks are inserting into the system. So, but I mean, here the checkpoint is going to be in the valuation report. You always need to check. I mean, there is one point. Yes, there's one. Are there any? I mean, in the valuation report, the photograph of the house is also there. For example, if it's a constructed house, okay, it needs to have the photograph of the the constructed portion of the I mean the house. So in case you're going to find, in case in the photograph you are finding out any commercial establishment, no, many times what happens is, I mean, the borrower is taking the housing loan for any particular house. On the first floor, they have some commercial establishment, okay? So then that is not allowed, okay? In case that is there, then whether the borrower has taken the permission for that commercial establishment or not, that we need to ensure, okay? We just need, when the loan is being given for the residential houses, it has to be solely used for the purpose of residential accommodation, unless and until the borrower has a specific permission for having the commercial establishment at the ground floor or first floor, whatever it is, okay? So it's very important. One very important thing is in the valuation report is the DLC value. There should not be much variation in the value as per the DLC and the realizable value. For example, the DLC value is only 10 lakhs and the realizable value or the market value that you are showing is say 1 crore, okay? So then that has to be again inquired into why there's so much fluctuation in the the value of the property. One very important thing is the age of the property. I mean, most of the times what we see is, again, a very critical thing that you need to see. For example, if I'm giving a housing loan to anybody, okay, and that property was built in, say, year 1995, and he's asking for a say loan on that particular housing loan, and he wants to have a second floor being built on that house, then in that case, the banks are not allowed to give the loan to that particular borrower. Why? I mean, most of the banks, okay, I'm talking about, I mean, this, there can be some variation in the norms for, the age of the property, okay. What I've written here is, it should not be more than 25 years. So, okay, we are setting out to 2023. So any property which is no older than 1997, on that property, we cannot give the loan. Okay, so the housing loans, they are to be given on the property that are newly built or they are being built in the past, say 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, okay, but not, I mean, no, very old houses, we cannot give the housing loan to those, okay. You just need to keep that in mind. Okay, one very important thing is residual age of the property. Residual age of the property meaning thereby, I mean, for example, if I'm taking a housing loan on property which has been built in the 2005, okay, and it has again, I mean, the valuation report is going to show, I mean, the residual age of the property. It has to be more than 5 years of the repayment period. For example, if I'm taking a housing loan of 20 years, okay, then my residual age has to be 25 years. So it's very clear. I mean, for example, if I'm taking in case your residual age is only 15 years, then you cannot have a tenure of the housing loan is only going to be 10 years. So these are very important points that you need to keep in mind. I mean, these are somewhat technical points, maybe that can be skipped by the by any credit officer. Okay, so these are few quick bites that I mean that you need to take care when you are checking the home loan files. Okay, commercial establishment and one thing. Okay, I'm just going to now come to the TIR, title investigation report. Title investigation report is nothing but, I mean, the legal opinion of the immobile property. One very important thing about this title investigation report is, I mean, it can be of say 8 or 9 pages. There is going to be one point in the title investigation report relating to what are the documents that the bank has to take to create a valid equitable mortgage. Okay, so it is going to list down say 10 documents, for any particular immobile property. They are going to be say 10 chain of title documents that are going to be there. Okay, so you need to ensure that, you just need to ensure that those 10 documents are available for creating a valid equitable mortgage. What I'm going to recommend to you is from that particular point in the TIR, you just need to put the tick mark by, I mean, comparing the chain of title documents that are available and your checklist, I mean, your title investigation report point containing that particular, I mean, the list of the chain of title documents. So in case, I mean, in case there's any chain that is missing, then you need to, then that is going to be a material point, because in case all the chain of title documents are not available, then you cannot create a valid equitable mortgage. Okay, so it's very important that you, I mean, that you have the complete chain of title documents. Okay. Last but not least, okay, we also need to, I mean, since we are going to check the eligibility, okay, we need to ensure that the income tax returns or the financial statements for all the 3 financial years are available. Okay, it should be, I mean, for example, when we are checking the financial statements, just do take care that ITR 5 along with the, for example, if the audited client is there, then Form 3CD, I mean, the acknowledgement of filing of the Form 3CD is also available. I mean, practically what we observe for the non-audited clients, you just need to ensure that the return has been physically, I mean, that the return has been e-verified also. Okay, it's very important. For example, if somebody has filed the return, okay, and he has not verified the return within 120 days of the filing of return, okay, then that is going to be, I mean, then he has to find the condonation request, or that is not going to be treated as equally treated as not filing of the return. Okay, so you need to ensure for all the non-audited clients, the income tax returns which are not digitally signed, they have been e-verified or not. Okay, and again, it's a very important checkpoint that you need to take care. Okay, so just going back, I mean, this is the checklist that we need to fill for all the sample files that we have taken. Okay, so this is what we have talked about is home loan. Okay, an important point what we have discussed is the eligibility amount, the source of income, the application form, the pre-sanction inspection report, the civil report, the valuation report. Okay, the age of the property should not be more than 25 years, and the residual age. Okay, both are the different things. Okay, residual ages, I mean, the left out age of the property. Okay, it has to be more than 5 years then the repayment period. Okay, second last thing is title investigation report. Okay, the legal opinion about the immovable property. We need to check the chain of title documents and compare it with the all the documents that are available with the property papers. Okay, and last, I mean, the financial statements. We also need to, for the non-audited clients, we need to double check that whether the verification has been done for the income tax returns. Okay, so this is the checklist. This is the sample checklist that was there. Okay, I'm just going to quickly walk you through since we have talked about the cash credit accounts. Okay, so this is the checklist for the maybe the renewal accounts. Okay, and if you remember, I've told you in the beginning that all your audit working papers, they need to be intact. For example, these days all the and going forward, all the chartered accounting firms, they are going to be peer reviewed as well. Okay, so the when the firms are being peer reviewed, the most important things are your audit working papers. Your audit program, how you have and if you remember, we have talked about the appointment letter, the no objection certificate, the email communication with the auditee. Okay, then all these checklists, then your audit program, all these things come in handy when when the firms are being peer reviewed. Okay, so if you're having a very good checklist and you have filled all the checklists, I mean, it serves as a tool as well that you have conducted the audit as per the auditing standards that have been prescribed by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Okay, I'm just going to quickly again I'm going to quickly walk you through I mean the very important points when you are checking the renewal files. Okay, we are talking about the cash credit accounts. So what we are going to do is I mean, name, account number, and this thing. I'm just going to quickly highlight what are the important things that you need to see. If you're seeing the appraisal note and you find out that any enhancement has been done in the limit has been done, then you just need to compare it. How the assessment has been done. If you remember, I told you, for example, 20% of the turnover, that is the sanction limit that is being given to any particular borrower. Okay, so we need to. Sometimes what happens is for the new establishment, for the new startups, okay, they don't have the previous history of the turnover. then the limit is being given on the basis of the projected turnovers. Okay, so we need to assess whether the projected turnover that has been taken as per the the logical available information with the branch officials or not. Okay, and that looks up to mark as well or not. In case any enhancement has been done, then what we need to ensure is in case the immovable property is there, then we need to do the changes in the equitable mortgage as well. Okay, so you need to check, you need to number one, you need to update the equitable mortgage register as well. Okay, so that is one of the points that you need to take care. Another important point is rate of interest and the processing charges. What we have discussed in the initial part, no revenue leakage. In case, for example, if you have detected a revenue leakage of 1 lakh rupees or 50,000 rupees, whatever amount, okay, then it goes into the MOC part. Okay, so you need to take care that how you can verify the rate of interest is, if you remember, one pager that we need to prepare. Okay, for example, the external benchmark rate plus the spread. Then you need to find out what is the correct rate of interest has been applied or not. Processing fee, whatever the processing fee that has been prescribed, that is available or not. That has been debited in the account. You need to check that into the Finacle or the core banking system that is available there in that or not. Okay. Okay. What was the due date of review and what is the actual date of review? For example, the account was due for renewal on say 30th of September 2022. Okay, and the account has been renewed on say 30th January 2023. Okay, then you need to take care that the processing fee has been recovered for the gap period as well. Okay, and why the account then there's going to be one short review note available for the gap period as well. Okay, so you need to take care of that. You need to also check the CIBIL report for the borrower. Okay, again, that is very important. The loan that you have given, that should be reflected in into the CIBIL report as well. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to quickly walk you through. The valuation report. The valuation report has a validity of again 3 years. Okay. So any valuation report which is older than 3 years, then we need to have one fresh valuation report. So you need to check the valuation report of that particular loan. Okay, insurance, we need to check whether the insurance is there with the borrower or not. Okay, I'm not going through all the things. Okay, one important thing that we are going to compare is capital and profit and loss. Okay, whenever we give the loan in the case of the CC accounts, okay, we also give we have the projected figures for the next financial year, so we need to make a comparison of how the figures have moved, whether whatever the projected figures were there and how the things have moved. So it is very important that we compare the budgeted figures and the actual figures. Okay, and the current ratios, debt equity ratios, they are as per norms or not, that also we need to check. Okay, again, I'm going to talk about the survey registration. If you remember, I told you that the survey registration are to be done for the two things. Okay, one for the immobile property and the second for the cap limits as well. Okay, so there's a particular survey ID that is there, so we need to check this as well. Okay, and the post-sanction review report also. If you remember, in the housing loan we have talked about the pre-sanction review report. Okay, so now we are talking about the post-sanction review report, where in the cash credit account, there's a particular frequency in which the bank official has to go to the borrower's place and identify and see whether the the level of the stock, whether how the business is being performed. Okay, so he goes there, he prepares a report, and he even clicks the photograph. Okay, one very important thing here is going to be equitable mortgage register. Okay, whenever any you are giving a loan against any immobile property, then you're going to make an entry into the equitable mortgage register. So always ensure that whatever the loan files that you have taken for the sample, you are checking the equitable mortgage register for that particular loan. Okay, in the equitable mortgage register, as per the guidelines, all the chain of title documents, they need to be filled in the handwritten. Okay, in case it is, most of the banks, if you're going to see these days, they are following, they have a practice of pasting the photocopy of the chain of title documents into the equitable mortgage register, and it has to be signed by the two officials of the bank. Okay, so I mean, but you need to check the equitable mortgage register. That is very important from that perspective. One last thing that I'm going to discuss as far as the cash credit loan accounts are debit balance confirmation. If you remember, I mean, I've told you that the cash credit accounts, they are being sanctioned for a period of 3 years. Okay, so in case somebody is continuing the limit with the same amount, for example, if we have sanctioned a cash credit limit of say 100 lakh to anybody, and he's continuing the same in the 4th year, then we need to take the debit balance confirmation for the continuity of the loan. Again, it should be properly signed, it should be properly filled, it has to be signed by the borrower, co-borrower, guarantor, and it has to be signed, countersigned by the branch official. Okay, we need to check that as well. Okay, so that was the thing, that we need to check when we are checking the renewal of the files. Okay, I'm just going to quickly recap what we need to check when we are checking the cash credit files. Okay, the limit, whether it has been enhanced or reduced. Okay, the rate of interest, processing fee, whether the CIBIL report has been generated or not. Okay, valuation report, it has a validity of 3 years. Okay, in case it has expired, then we need to take a new valuation report. Okay, insurance, we need to see that whether the insurance is valid or not. Okay, the figures of the capital and the profit and loss, what were budgeted and what are the actuals. Okay, the post-sanction review that has been done, the CERC ID that has been created, the equitable mortgage and the entry into the equitable mortgage register. And in case the loans which are into the system for 2 years or they are in the system for 3 years, then we also need to check whether the debit balance confirmation is available or not. Okay, so that was the part relating to the cash credit account. If you remember, I told you that we are going to quickly discuss about the bank guarantee checklist as well. Okay, this is the non-fund based thing that is there. Okay, I'm just going to share with you the bank guarantee checklist as well. Okay, so you are able to see my bank guarantee checklist. So in the bank guarantee checklist, what we see is, the request letter from the borrower. Okay, it mentions the amount of the bank guarantee, the duration of the bank guarantee. Okay, and the beneficiary details. There is a particular fee that we need to pay for issuing the stamp duty has to be paid. It depends upon state to state, but for example, in Rajasthan, it is 0.25% of the bank guarantee amount. Okay, so any bank guarantee that is being issued, it has to contain it has to be paid on, it has to pay the stamp duty. Okay, so we print the bank guarantee on the non-judicial stamp papers. Okay, or you can do the franking of the guarantee, the stamp duty. Okay, the bank guarantee which is being given to the beneficiary. Okay, one very important thing that you need to remember is whenever the bank guarantees are being issued, these days, there's a system check also. Where we are going to, it has to be directly given, issued to the beneficiary directly. Okay, and we need to have a proper acknowledgement of the bank guarantee that has been given to the beneficiary. Okay, type of bank guarantee, name of the beneficiary, the date from which the bank guarantee is valid and to which period it is valid. One important thing is claim period. Okay, so the bank guarantee can be say till 31st of January 2023, but then there is a clause in the bank guarantee that it can be claimed up to 3 months from the expiry of the date of the bank guarantee. Okay, so the processing, the bank guarantee charges of the bank guarantee fee that has to be taken is not up to bank guarantee expired date, but up to the claim period. Okay, so it's very important that we have a proper clause relating to the claim period. Okay, and it has to be properly signed. Okay, one very important thing is counter bank guarantee. Whenever the bank guarantee is being issued, it is a non-fund based guarantee. Okay, we are not having any outstanding on the balance. It's an off balance sheet item. Okay, so we take the bank guarantee in case the bank guarantee has been revoked and the bank has to pay the amount of the guarantee to the borrower. In that case, we are going to take that amount from the borrower. So the counter bank guarantee stamp is also needs to be taken. Okay, the bank guarantee is being issued against. There can be non-fund based limit also, or for example, if somebody is going out for the education loan, somebody is taking an education, going out for the education, many of the universities, they ask for the bank guarantee. Okay, in that case, I mean, the bank guarantee limit is not going to be issued, but it has to be generally it is being issued against say 100% of the FDR. Okay, so in that case, what we are going to check is whether the proper lien has been marked onto the FDR or not. Okay. One last thing about the bank guarantee is bank guarantee commission. Okay, so we need to check whether the proper commission has been charged for the bank guarantee or not. We can check. I mean, it depends upon bank to bank. I mean, I've just mentioned the charges out here. One very important thing is whenever the bank guarantee is being issued, generally the charges are say up for a quarter. So, for example, if somebody some bank guarantee is issued for 4 months, okay, but then we are going to charge the going to charge the bank guarantee commission for 2 quarters. Okay, so in that case, we need to take care that the commission has been charged as per the bank circular or not. Okay. Okay, I mean, in case the bank guarantee are again against the particular limit, okay, then what we need to check is the immovable property that has been taken for the bank guarantee. That particular property has been entered into the equitable mortgage register or not. Okay, so those are the points that we need to take care as far as the bank guarantee is concerned. Okay, the request letter, the I mean, we have to pay the stamp duty. For example, it is 0.25% in the Rajasthan. Okay, and then we also take the counter bank guarantee, the underlying security, whether it's an FDR or it's an immovable property. And then finally, I mean, the bank guarantee commission you need to check. So that was the those were the points relating to the bank guarantee checklist. I'm just going to I mean, I think I would be wrapping it up in another 5 minutes. I'm just going to walk you through the audit program. Okay, I already mentioned that we have sent, I mean, just to quickly recap what we have started with. I mean, receiving of the appointment letter, sending the no objection certificate, and then sending out the email, mentioning the requirements. And then we also talked about, I mean, the list of the advances, the checklist for fresh sanctions, for the renewals, for the bank guarantee. Okay, and now finally, I'm just showing you the audit program that we need to prepare for the bank audits. Okay, so I mean, this is the audit program that is being look. Okay, I'm just going to quickly share with you the audit program. Okay, I hope you are able to see my audit program. So I mean, this is the audit program that we are going to prepare for every branch. Okay, this is going to contain the name of the bank, sole ID, okay, the name of the audit hand. It's very important that we take the contact numbers of the credit officers, okay, I mean, so that we can contact them in case, I mean, they are out for some work relating to the branch, okay. Yes, I'm just going to quickly walk you through what are going to be the points. One very important thing is that you also need to fill this audit program diligently during your audit, okay. If you remember, I've told you that when you are wrapping up your day, you need to insert all your observations into the reporting software. Again, one thing very important is that you need to update your audit program continuously every day. Okay, so your audit program should contain, I mean, review of the previous audit report, the list of the advances and the deposits. Okay, the physical verification of the cash, who has done it, okay, and the columns relating to that is, I mean, who has done it and the extent of checking. I mean, for example, if you check 20 loan files in a particular day, so how you have checked it, what are your observations, is there any material observation, then you need to mention it. One very important thing that you can do with your audit program is, in case there is going to be any MOC, if you remember, I mean, the ultimate outcome of any branch report is memorandum of changes. In case there is going to be any MOC, I mean, you can mention it out here in your audit program, okay. And then it contains all the things that are there, how many advance files you've taken, large advances files. I mean, basically, if you want to relate it, I mean, your requirements list and your audit program. I mean, it contains more or less all the things that you've already asked from the branches. The status of the complaints. Then it talks about the operational areas. What we have discussed today is more of a, I mean, the credit portion of the the bank audit, okay? But there are the operational areas that we need, that also we need to cover. With this audit program, no, I mean, no, you would be able to dwell with the operational areas, okay? I mean, in a 2 hours time, it's very difficult, I mean, no, to cover all the areas of the bank audit, okay? What we have given the thrust is majorly on the credit portion of that, okay? One very important thing is the user list from the branch, okay? Since if you know, I mean, all the branches, the staff in the branch, they're going to have a particular user ID. So you can have a list from the system who all are going to be the user. This list should not contain any officer or any employee of that particular branch who has been transferred to any other branch. Okay, then that ID has to be removed from this branch. So you can ask the user list from the branch. Okay, I told you, I mean, you know, the printout of the email. If you remember, I mean, you know, the email that we've sent to the branch at the first stage. Okay, you need to have the printout, and then you need to tick mark whether, I mean, you know, all the requirements of your have been met or not. Okay, then it talks about, I mean, you know, the advances area, how you're doing with that. Okay, how you're seeing the loan accounts into the system. No, the transaction audit that I mentioned earlier. Okay, then, I mean, you know, it gives about all the areas of what you're going to do the audit for. Okay, balancing report, that also we have talked about. Okay, any okay, the fixed assets register, you also need to check. I mean, you know, again, depreciation, calculation of the depreciation, the fixed assets portion. Okay, you also need to check upon those things. Okay, suspense account, no, your observations relating to the suspense account. No, the balance sheet scrutiny, how the figures, if you remember, we have made the comparison of the figures. I mean, you know, how the figures have been moving from one financial year to another financial year. So that you can do with that. Okay. And the deposits area, we have talked, if you remember, I mean, you know, the overdue or the mature deposits. Okay. One very important thing relating to the deposit area is the special rate of deposit that is being given to the, for example, the staff accounts or the senior citizens. Okay, you need to take a list of the accounts in which the higher rate of interest is being given. Okay, so you just can check whether the it has been given in the eligible amount account or not. One very important thing is, in case of the staff accounts, then the name of the staff member needs to be there in that particular deposit account. It cannot be like, no, the brother of the staff has been given any particular, I mean, that has an FD has been opened in the name of the staff, brother of the staff. Okay, then that particular depositor is not eligible for the higher rate of interest. Okay, the name of the staff has to be in the first place. Talk about the reconciliations. Okay, and then we have there's a profit and loss accounts. Okay, you need to do some test checking about no, the commissions that have been received on the bank guarantees, LCs. Okay, you also need to check about the processing fee on the loan accounts. Okay, on the test check basis. Okay, then the locker area, you can check upon the, I mean, you know, the locker register that has been properly maintained or not. I mean, you know, it has been the data of the locker or not. Okay, fixed assets. I mean, no, then it lists down the complete area of, I mean, you know, the operational area as well. Okay, so this is the whole audit program that is there. Okay, so I mean, which covers all your no, the credit area and the operational area. But the whole point is, I mean, we need to have the good checklist. You need to, I mean, I mean, the articles, they are the pillars as far as the whole bank audit is concerned. In case my whole team is working with me, I mean, and they are giving me a very good raw material in the form of, I mean, the checklist, their observations, anything relating to memorandum of changes, the MOC part. Okay, your observations are very critical. They are very important. Okay, with the help of these checklists, with the help of the guidance notes, okay, I mean, with your skills, with your experience, I think together we can bring out the best as far as the bank audit is concerned. Okay, your inputs are invaluable. I mean, they can create wonders, and they can bring out the best as far as the audit reports are concerned. So my whole request is that, I mean, you do all the audit very diligently within very short span of time, taking care of all the holidays that we discussed. No, there are going to be lot many holidays that are going to come. So you need to be pre-inform the bank officials that you would be working on all the days. This is going to be your time frame, okay? Working lunches, all those things. So that is going to, I mean, add and bring out the best reports as per the what the institute want from all is, I mean, we work as a team and we bring out the best results. Okay, so these were the things that that were there from my side. So any any questions, then I would be, I mean, ready to take any of the questions that that we have. Okay, I'm also going to share my email address and number with you. So in case you're auditing somewhere and you want to you are having any queries, then I'm going to I would be happy to help in any form. Okay, so that was from my side. In case there are any questions, then maybe you can take and do that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Aman, over to you. Aman, any questions?
No, sir. I believe that Amit sir explained it so well about each and every detail regarding the audit program to the reconciliation and everything, that the entire session was so amazingly and well explained that students have understand the nuances and every little bit of a thing. So we are very glad that Amit sir has served this time, and he has given his expertise and valuable time on the bank audit for all the articles. And Jodhpur branch, thank you, Amit sir, for taking out your precious time from your busy schedule and giving us the valuable insights about the audit program, the reconciliation, the credit and operational area that you mentioned in your speech about in the presentation. And you very well said that the checklist is very important key factor for the articles when they are going for the bank audit, that they should keep in mind, because the inputs, if the raw material will be appropriate, the output, the finished product will automatically be true and fair. And it is very important that audit report should be true and fair, and very importantly to have the checklist. About the memorandum of changes, the observations that you explained, I believe that each and every student, each and every article who will going to do the bank audit in the near future will take this session as a knowledgeable session. So thank you so much, sir, once again for gracing Jodhpur branch of SICAS of ICI. On this note, I would also like to extend gratitude and a vote of thanks to the chairman of Jodhpur branch, C. Abhishek Soni sir, Pooja ma'am, Raj Botra sir, Hemant Lohia sir, Dhaval Kothari sir, Mukesh Vyas sir, and Pankaj Rathi sir, and entire managing committee members for organizing such a knowledgeable and valuable webinar on the topic, which is currently the most important need of the hour. Thank you so much, Amit sir, once again for tuning in and joining in on this webinar.
Thank you, Aman, and thank you, everybody. I just shared my email address and mobile number in the chat box. Okay, so in case anybody who would like to get in touch, I have just shared my number and email address. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much to giving the time for the Jodhpur branch, and I hope that we will going to have a good time in the futures too for the good events and the webinars in the coming time. And on the behalf of the whole managing committee, I again thanking big thanks to you that you have spared your valuable time for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you to the managing committee as well for giving me the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And also we through this platform, I would like to say that we are celebrating the Navrang program. Actually, in next coming 8 to 9 days, we are organizing various events for the students. So I request every student to take the active participation in all the events and whatever the activities we are going to do in the future. So from this platform, I would suggest that each and every student take active participation for that, so we can so all the activities going to be a huge success for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We can conclude now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.